South Africa's dangerous gamble, the ANC's risky romance with Russia and China. South Africa, a land of beauty, resources, and a government that just can't help but sabotage itself. From cutting deals with dictators to throwing away billion-dollar trade agreements like they're candy wrappers, the ANC is playing a dangerous game, and if they lose, South Africa's entire economy goes down with them. But one person is fighting back, one voice of reason trying to drag her country away from the brink. Her name is Emma Powell, and this is her story. Meet Emma Powell, Member of Parliament, voice of reason, and apparently the only adult in the room trying to do the ANC's job for them. Because when your government is busy hosting their annual Cuddle Up to Dictators festival, someone's got to do the actual work. Emma Powell, we needed to get ahead of the noise. We needed to go and meet with people that we have been speaking to for close to 2 years. Imagine that. Cleaning up your government's mess because they're too busy playing the How to Ruin a Country in 30 Years or Less game. Step 1. Make friends with everyone America hates. Step 2. Sit back and watch the economy burn. Russia, China, Iran, the ANC's new BFFs. And just like all toxic friendships, they come with a heavy price. From holding naval drills with Russia and China to cozying up to Iran, the ANC's foreign policy is about as subtle as a vuvuzela at a funeral. And let's not forget the Lady R incident. Allegations that South Africa secretly supplied ammunition to Russia during its Ukraine invasion. Yes, because nothing says responsible governance like sliding weapons under the table to a country everyone else is sanctioning. Emma Powell, when Naledi Pandor picks up the phone and calls the leader of Hamas, how is it that the United States is supposed to turn a blind eye? Yeah, America, stop being so dramatic. So what if South Africa's government is cozying up to a bunch of international pariahs? It's not like you're bankrolling millions of lives here. Oh, wait. But all that reckless flirting with authoritarian regimes comes with a price. A $4 billion price tag called AGOA, an agreement that keeps South Africa's economy from crumbling faster than Eskom's power grid. AGOA provides South Africa with duty-free access to American markets, feeding thousands of jobs and pumping life into the economy. And thanks to the ANC's diplomatic disaster, that deal is hanging by a thread. If AGOA gets cut, it won't just hurt trade with the US. It'll annihilate the entire economy faster than Julius Malema can shout, "Revolution!" Emma Powell, an AGOA carve-out will not just harm South Africa-US exports, it will harm South Africa-EU exports as well. It will be our farmers and farm workers that are the hardest hit. But hey, the ANC's master plan to sink the economy is right on schedule. Because if you can't make your own citizens miserable, are you even trying? And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, boom, the ANC passes the Expropriation Without Compensation Act. Because what could be better for a struggling economy than robbing people of their land without paying a single cent? Genius. Emma Powell. It was an unnecessary act of provocation on the part of the president. Don't worry, folks. The ANC promises they'll only take some of your land, just a few pieces here and there, and only if it's, you know, for the greater good, whatever that means today. Then there's PEPFAR, the program that saved millions of South African lives by funding HIV/AIDS treatment. Cut, just like that. Trump snapped his fingers and the funding vanished, leaving millions at risk. Emma Powell, I know what the implications are going to be for the most vulnerable people of our country. But don't worry, the ANC will save the day. They'll fund PEPFAR themselves. With what money, you ask? Who knows? Maybe they'll just tax the non-existent electricity coming out of Eskom. South Africa's fate is hanging by a thread. Will cooler heads prevail? Or will the ANC's obsession with befriending tyrants drag the nation into economic ruin? Emma Powell. We will continue to act in our national interests. But please understand, it is in both of our interests to keep this relationship strong and cordial. South Africa needs leaders who can actually lead. If the ANC can't or won't, someone else will have to step up. Before it's too late. South Africa's fate is hanging by a thread. The ANC is sleepwalking straight into economic ruin, dragging millions of innocent lives along for the ride. But there's still hope. If the right leaders are allowed to do their jobs, the future can still be saved. Emma Powell, we will continue to act in our national interests. But please understand, It is in both of our interests to keep this relationship strong and cordial. But will the ANC listen before it's too late? Or will South Africa be left as nothing more than a cautionary tale of greed, incompetence, and ideological madness?